Donald Trump has just announced a 10% tax on all imports from the UK. How is this going to affect you as an eBay seller? Hi, my name's Tom and I've been selling on eBay and Amazon for 15 years. And today's video I wanted to talk about how the Trump government has just announced a 10% tariff on goods from the UK coming into the US and how that might affect your business if you sell on eBay and Amazon. Now, I wanted to make this video as neutral as possible because I'm aware that he's a divisive individual and some people like him, some people really don't like him, and there's a lot of derangement going on both sides. So I wanted to try and keep politics out of this, whether you like the guy or not, or try and separate the individual from the government is my only take on it. It was announced yesterday across mainstream media and across independent and alternative media about this 10% tariff, as well as other sweeping tariffs for other countries, which he's trying to do to get business back to America, it seems. And I wanted to talk about how this could potentially impact your eBay business. Now, this is going to impact across the board internationally. And I'm no expert on this. I just sell online for a living, so it's just my take on the subject. So essentially, it's going to be 10% on top of any sort of eBay prices. But if you're selling stuff through, for example, the global shipping program, you don't need to worry about it as such. That will all sort of be dealt with on the back end. I'm sure eBay's working away as we speak, doing it. So there's something not necessarily that you'll have to deal with directly, but it may certainly affect your sales. Now, I do personally sell on GSP quite a bit, and my two main ones are Australia and America, so it's definitely going to impact me. And that's especially the case since sales to Europe have really taken a nosedive since the GDPR regulations came in, and you had to sort of turn most of Europe off, really. I know some people haven't, but I personally have. Then as well with the France packaging regulations and the Germany packaging regulations, it's taken a real hit. So my main ones were Australia and America. So now with 10% tariff on top of that, it's definitely going to affect things. Now, I'm trying to think of a positive side of this because what might happen in that case is that sales from other places might increase because they're not going to be selling their goods, say from Australia to America or Europe to America, because of these increased tariffs. So it could be that you will get sales from other places would pick up. And obviously, you could go through and try and reflect that in reduction, sending offers out. I wish there was some way that eBay would show you that if you're sending an offer out to a GSP buyer. But I do find generally, if someone's buying something on GSP, on the global shipping program, that they are paying up for stuff because it does seem that eBay charges them quite a bit for postage and quite a bit for fees and all that sort of thing. So I don't foresee that it's going to make a huge difference. Certainly on the scale of a medium to small eBay seller, which the predominant viewership of my channel is. Now, I'm sure if you're a large eBay organization or if you're a company that sells internationally, this is going to be pretty tough news. But it is 10% at the end of the day. It is manageable. So I don't feel it's anything to get panicky about. So in conclusion, really, I think it's really important to stay informed on updates of this, whether eBay announces anything or anything to do with just international trade in general. Now, this is going to sound like a sponsor for Ground News or something, but it's not. But it's really important that when you're seeking out information on these things, that you don't just go to one source. That if you really have to, you go to mainstream news, which I personally don't watch that much because it definitely does have a very political lean and an agenda. But it's important also to check out alternative media, independent media, and just media across the board, citizen journalists, things like that, because stories are being suppressed by the mainstream media and narratives are being spun. So you've got to be really careful you're not scaremongered into knee-jerk reactions with your business, things like that. So it's important to check out as many sources as you can and appreciate that all of them have their own, biased, a lot of independent media is more towards the right, and mainstream media is more towards the left. Now, I'm not going to say politically anything more than that, but it is really important that you look and try and get a better overall picture of what's happening, rather than seeing headlines like this and immediately panicking and thinking, oh my gosh, how this is going to be terrible. It's 10% at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure you're going to be okay. Now, a lot of people had similar sort of panics when Germany announced having to get a packaging license and all that nightmare. So it's not going to be the first time this has happened, and it's certainly not going to be the last. So yeah, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please try and keep civil. I'm not going to make this like I love this person, I hate this person. That's going to serve no purpose. This is purely about how this sort of decision by a political party that's currently in power is going to affect eBay sales. But let me know what you think. Is it a big nothing burger? Is it just being ramped up by the mainstream media as a kind of another hit against a party which they don't want to be in power? Or is it genuinely like an aggressive move by a person obsessed with power who, let me know your thoughts. I'm genuinely interested in the comment section below, but the takeaway really is I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. My GSP sales do make up a proportion of my sales, but they don't make a huge proportion of my sales. And if they are buying, they're going to be paying up for it anyway. So I think all in all, it should be okay. And I'm just going to focus on getting stuff listed, getting it up there, rather than worrying about things that I can't control. So I hope that's been helpful. So if you like talking about buying and selling and turning side income into full-time sustainable income, drop me a subscription, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.